Welcome, everyone. We'll get started shortly. Welcome, guys. Welcome. Welcome, everyone. Welcome, everyone. We'll get started shortly. Welcome, everyone. We'll get started shortly. Hey, Clarissa. Welcome. Hey, Kevin. Welcome. We'll get started. Hey, Arthur. Welcome. Welcome, everyone. Welcome. Hello, everyone. Welcome, guys. Let's go and get started. As you guys know, this is our Q&A class. I'm sorry, trading in the zone class. So trading in the zone, trend following and trading systems. I'm going to share my screen here. Welcome, everyone. Welcome. Do you guys see my screen? You guys should see my screen here. If not, let me know. All right. All right. Thanks, Cody.
Yeah.
Awesome.
I see it.
All right. Great, guys. Okay. This evening, we're going to go over trading in the zone. Okay. So mindset. So as we go through the markets, guys, just keep in mind, all right, trend following, right? So we want to make sure we follow the trends, right? And we're on the right side of the trends. Trading systems. So we want to use our trading systems, all right, to analyze these trends. And then we want to kind of make sure we stay in the zone, right? So trading in the zone. All right. The first thing I want to go over is the dollar index, right? We've been tracking the dollar, right? A lot of the pairs in Forex sold, right? We got sell signals on those. But we're still watching the dollar index here. Hey, Tracy, welcome. All right. So we're still watching that. We got a green candle today, which is good. All right. So hopefully we'll see another rotation, perhaps our sixth rotation, number 6, right, in Forex. So paying close attention to that, the dollar index right here. All right. We've had some up days in the market, in the equity markets. All right. So we've had some up days in the equity markets, but that hasn't changed anything, right? So we had Monday was a big up day. Tuesday was a big update, but overall, we're still in that markdown phase. All right. Even on the weekly time frame, this is a weekly time frame here, guys. So even on the weekly time frame, we are still in that markdown phase. All right. This is the Dow. All right. This is the Dow. We have a sell short signal. So our system is showing a sell short signal. Let me draw it out. And guys, stop me if you have any questions, okay, as I go through this. All right. So here is our sell short signal right here. All right. On a break of this support right here. Show you guys. All right. So we want to use our system. All right. So this candle here, right? So this arrow pointing to this candle and this little triangle right here is where the signal came in to go short, right, at this support right here. And we got our sellers coming in short. That's the markdown phase, okay? That's the markdown phase. So although we've had some buying, right, in the last couple of days, we're still in the markdown phase. So this is the Dow, right? And as you guys know, we always track the 4 major indexes, the Dow, the S&P, and the NASDAQ. So that was the Dow. The S&P looks very similar right here. All right, very similar here. Here's our sell short signal on the break of support right here. So we use our system. We're not guessing at this, right? We're using our system. All right. The trend right now is down. Okay, so we're in that markdown phase. Red candles, so we should not be in stocks. All right. Got a question for you guys. What phase is this? What phase is this? What phase is this? Right.
Accumulation markup phase.
Markup phase. Great job, Article. Markup. So this is where we should have been buying. Markup, markdown. Okay. So markup, right? This is where we should be buying. Buying stocks, markdown. We should not be buying. All right. All right. Very good. All right. Hey, Gerald. All right.
Hey, David and everybody.
Welcome. Welcome. All right. So that's the S&P. And we'll go through the different markets. And I just want to show you guys the trends, right? So this evening, trend following. So we want to make sure we're on the right side of those trends. Hey, Chris, welcome, Chris. All right. So that's the S&P, the NASDAQ. All right. So the NASDAQ. And we want to do this. Watch these markets at least you know, twice, 3 times a week, right? All right. So same thing here on the NASDAQ. All right. Markup phase right here. Markup phase, markdown phase. All right. Markdown phase. This is on a weekly time frame. So this is a big trend, guys. All right. So I want you guys to think about this. I want you guys to think about this, right? So here's our sell short signal, right? This is the markup. This is the markdown. All right. Weekly time frame. Now, look here, right? We're making lower highs, right here, lower highs. Right, there were traders that came in. This is the current week right here on this candle right here. There were traders that came in heavy I think the Dow was up perhaps on Monday, I think 700 or 800 points, right? And a lot of buying, and again on Tuesday it was almost the same, right? So that's a lot of buying, and they're buying, right? Now things could change, but right now we're still in that markdown phase. So all that buying, they could get squeezed. All right, because we're not in that markup phase. All right, so all that buying, all those folks that got in, hold on 1 second here. Hey, Mary, welcome. All right, all those folks that got in, all right, here, right, Monday and Tuesday could get squeezed. We could get more selling to come in, right? The nice thing, the good thing here is we have a little bit support at what phase is this? I'm going to start testing you guys. What phase? This candle right here, right? If we break this candle right here, what phase is that? So if we break this line right here, right, we have support right here. This is the markdown phase. If we break this support line, what phase is that? Anyone? Anyone? If we break this line right here, that's our support line, this purple line right here. If we break this support line here, what phase is that? We should know this. No one knows this? What phase is this? What phase is this? Markdown, right? So if we break support, this support line right here, if the price breaks support, this candle breaks support, what phase is this? Take a guess. Kawisi, what phase is this? If the price breaks support. No one knows this? You guys are kidding me. No one knows this if we break support. Can you guys hear me okay?
Oh, sorry. I was just distracted. Is that the distribution? No, sorry. So when I say yeah, distribution. Yeah, that's and break of support.
No. We got to know this stuff, guys. So what if the price breaks? If the price breaks this support right here, what phase is this?
The markdown phase, selling phase.
Yeah, this is the markdown phase. This whole area is the markdown phase.
So the question again?
Tracy, how about you, Tracy? If the price breaks this support right here.
Okay, we're continuing the markdown phase.
Yeah, the markdown phase, this is the whole thing is the markdown phase, right? Well, what I'm asking is here's the price right here, right? Here is the price right here, this purple line right here, and I'll make it more clear. Right here, that is support. What I'm asking is if the candle breaks through this support line right here, what phase is that? Hey, Carlos, welcome.
Hi, David.
Hey. What phase is that? All right, so we might have to spend some time on the 4 market phases this evening.
The redistribution phase.
The redistribution phase. This is the redistribution phase, guys. And this is important because at the redistribution phase, right? If this price, if the candle breaks through this support, that's huge, right? Because the price could go much lower. So if buyers, if traders got in, right? If they got in on Monday heavy, which they did, the market was up big time on Monday, and it was up big time on Tuesday, right? 800 points, 800 points. That's a big day for the Dow, right? And those buyers are getting in on this candle right here, right? Those buyers are getting on this candle right here. They're playing with fire. Because guess what? We're in the markdown phase. We got lower highs. We know we've got red candles. Right? We got lower highs, lower lows, right? Lower lows. So we know price is moving lower. But guess what? The price is right here at support, right? In the markdown phase. All right. Getting ready. Now, there's no guarantee it will break support, but it's right there. It's right near there. All right. So we need to know this. We need to know that, hey, this is not an area that we should be getting into, and that it's redistribution. If that price goes through that support, that's redistribution. You know, price could make another leg down and then consolidate. All right. So I'm going to do this. So remember the 4 market phases, right? The 4 market phases, right? We're right here. So currently the price is right. Another color, right here. So the Dow is sitting right here. Here's the markdown phase. All right. If that breaks that right here, if it breaks support right here, that's redistribution. That's important to know. Okay. And my point is this: there were traders that got in, and this is just a lesson, right? A lot of traders got in, a lot of people bought because they thought, right, on Monday, right? So the market was down last week, pretty heavy, right? That's why it's in the markdown phase. So a lot of folks jump in, right? They came in, market was down last week, finished low, and they came in on Monday and they bought heavy. Right here, right near that support in the in the markdown phase. It's in the markdown phase. And a lot of folks jump in the market on Monday and Tuesday. And guess what? It could test that support, right? Break support, redistribution. And guess what? You've got more selling, right, to come in. All right. So that's the lesson here. So that's why this is important. All right. That's why this is important to know. All right. So let's go back. Let's go back here. All right. So we might get some support here, right? So we might get, if we break through that support here, right, which kind of coincides with right about in here, right? So right is about this area right in here. The next support on the Dow is about right here. I'm sorry, the NASDAQ is about right here. So if we break through here, right? If we break through here, we could go much lower. All right. So that's my point. Now, the Russell looks the same. The VIX has come down a bit. The VIX volatility index came down a bit. It's at 28. All right. But it's still above 20. All right. So it's 28 right now. All right, right here, it's 28. All the sectors are still down, guys. All these sectors here are still down. Okay. The major indexes are down. Okay. So the trend for the equity markets, for the stock market is still down. All right. Because I had traders that called me, contacted me on Monday and Tuesday, wanted to find out if it's time to get back in the market. All right. That's why I want to go over this. And because the markets were up big. All right. So we can't get, we just because we've got some buying in the day, intraday, doesn't mean things have changed. Right. A lot has to happen. All right. A lot more has to happen. So everything from here down, all red. We should not be in equities. Okay. And the VIX is up. All right. Any
What's that
questions on
tracker
this?
called?
What's that?
Yeah, that list you have there. What kind of tracker do you call that?
Right here?
Yeah.
What type of tracker? What do you mean?
I mean, like I know, for example, with some brokers, you can subscribe to some of their subscriptions and they give you data,
Mm-hmm.
like level 1 and level 2. Is this an example of one of them, or?
No, wouldn't be level 2 data. So all we're doing here, and that's a good question. All we're doing here, Arthur, is tracking the trend, the direction of the trend. Okay. So we
Oh,
can,
so it's kind of like a watch list.
yeah.
Oh, I
Very
see, I see.
similar. Very similar.
Oh,
All right. So we're tracking the direction of the trend. So if we look here, right? These are sectors here. So these are the US sectors. All right. And then these are the major indexes. Like I said, the Dow, the S&P, and NASDAQ. And if we just look here, let's see here. Hold on. Okay, so if we just look here, the Dow, the S&P, NASDAQ, they're all moving down. All right, so we don't have to look at the chart, right? Just we can visually see here, right? They're all down. You see that? Down, right? Motley, you see that?
yeah. This is like a quick snapshot. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. All right,
Yeah,
so
like
they're
that.
all down. So we know that, guess where? Where's the trend? Where is the trend here? Where is the
It's all
trend?
going down, so I might as well not check all the individual stocks. That might be
Very good. Yeah. And then what phase is this? What phase is this?
a markdown.
Markdown. Very good. All right. And then here are all the sectors. All right. So we have home construction, right? Biotech, home builders, materials, right? And all these stocks, all the biotech stocks will fit within that sector. All right. Same thing here for services, energy. Here is energy, financials, industrials, right? Technology, consumer staples. And these are all the big sectors, right? Real estate, utilities, healthcare, consumer discretionary, telecom, and transportation. All right. So these are all the major sectors. And within the sectors, we'll find the stocks, right? The companies within the sectors. And if we notice here, those are also down. All right. And they're all in the markdown phase. All right. They're all in the markdown phase. So when we trade, when we look to trade stocks, we don't just buy stocks. And we went through that in the beginners class last night, right? We talked about support and resistance and all of that, right? But imagine we talked about right, I just mentioned, right, individuals. We don't know who they were. Individuals that bought. We know people bought. They got into the markets Monday and Tuesday heavy because the markets were up. So they're going against, right? All those people that bought, right? Monday and Tuesday, they're going against this overall big trend down. All right. So we can visually see that, hey, all these sectors, not one sector, not two sectors, not three, but all of the major sectors are down. And folks are still buying on Monday. So they have no idea.
They clearly didn't come to this class.
Yeah, they should, right?
Yeah.
All right. So this is why this is important. This is why we go through this, so that we don't do this stuff. Right? It's much easier. It's much easier, right, to have your stock go up, right? If guess what? The market is up, kind of like this here, right? Up, kind of like this here. So if the Dow is up in the markup phase, right? If the NASDAQ is up, is going up, is blue in the markup phase, the rest of the S&P, and then you have all these sectors. Hey, Alan, welcome. All these sectors are up, right? All these sectors are going up rather than down. And then like our traders did last time, right? Stella did really good. And Charity with biotech stocks, right? Now it makes it so much easier for your stock to go up, right? If all of these are up, all the sectors are up, blue and up, like here. The market is up, right? And then guess what? Your stock has a much better chance. So when we talk about trend following, right? That's what we mean. We want to follow the overall trend of the market, right? So rather than trying to buy in the markdown phase, buy in the markdown phase, buy in the markdown phase, right? We want to wait. Now you can short it, right? But we're not going to talk about that. All right. So just keep that in mind. This is a red flag to not buy stocks, to not be in stocks. All right. And the fact that the market was up big on Monday, big on Tuesday, guess what? If it rolls over, right? Whether it rolls over, the market rolls over at the end of this week or next week, or even 2 weeks from now, those traders are gonna, if they're not aware of this, the condition of the market, and they're buying the dip, they're gonna get burned. All right, buying the dip, thinking that we're gonna get a low price, a cheaper price. All right. Any questions on that? Any questions on that? I know we go through this all the time, but the traders that bought here thought that they were getting a cheap price. The traders that bought here thought that they were getting a cheap price. So let's do the reverse. All right. So the traders that bought here thought that they were getting a low price. Same here, right? Same here, same here, same here, same here. All these folks that bought thought that they were getting a low price, but the price kept going down. Breaking through that redistribution phase, breaking through that support. All right. All right. Okay, the next market we're going to look at is crypto. We'll look at Bitcoin. So should we be buying stocks or being out of stocks? Should we be buying or being out or waiting? We should be waiting, right? So here is Bitcoin here. What phase is Bitcoin in? Anyone? What phase is Bitcoin in?
It looks like redistribution.
Is he right or wrong? Anyone? I'm going to call on some folks. Call is he right or wrong?
I would agree with him.
Redistribution. Okay, so Arthur said redistribution. Carly said redistribution. All right. Anyone else? This is how we learn, guys. Hey, Chris. Do you agree?
Come on,
or
guys, place your bets.
What's that, Arthur?
I said, come on, guys, place your bets. Place your chance, you know.
Hey, Chris.
Come on.
Hey, Chris, what phase is this in?
Markdown or a redistribution.
Okay, markdown. So markdown is right. Okay. And redistribution. So Chris says redistribution. All right. Mary, what do you think? What phase? Mary, what phase? Mark says markdown. Alan says markdown. All right. Looks bearish to me. Markdown. Okay. Hey, Gerald. Gerald, what phase is this? Gerald.
Sorry, David, I think that is redistribution.
Redistribution. Okay. So Mary says redistribution. All right. When do we get redistribution? What has to happen to have redistribution? What has to happen?
Hit support.
And his support, but it has to what? It has to break
it.
through. It has to break through support, guys. Okay, so we do not have redistribution yet. All right. So here is our support line right here, this purple line right here. All right. Let's spend some time on this because this is important. All right. The price would have to break here, and it hasn't done that. So we don't have new sellers. When we break through, right, support, this right here is perfect redistribution. So here is our line, our support line right here. And this big candle, you see where this big candle broke through that support line? That's sellers, guys. That's a lot of sellers. And that candle broke through that support. All those sellers jumped in. That's what needs to happen here in order to get redistribution. Remember, redistribution, reaccumulation, new buyers are jumping in, right? Redistribution, new sellers are jumping in to push that price lower, to break through support. The price hasn't broken through support. It's holding support. Okay, so we don't have new sellers yet coming in to push Bitcoin lower. That's important. So the buyers are holding the floor, right? The buyers are holding the floor for Bitcoin. That's good for Bitcoin. All right. the sellers are not strong enough, right? They don't have enough momentum to push that price lower. So Bitcoin is sitting right here at 20,000. That's great. So as a trader, if we're watching this and we are noticing that, hey, right, they're holding support, they're holding support, they're holding support. We can wait, be patient and wait. All right, because they're holding up the price until it goes to that redistribution phase. Guess what? The buyers are holding Bitcoin right here. Why is that important to know? Why is that important?
It'll help you. It'll help you to determine if you should be selling or buying. So I guess we're at the critical moment.
No, we're not at a
No?
critical moment yet. We're not at a critical moment yet. What does this tell us here?
That we still have support.
That we still have support, yes. That we still have support. And we have pretty strong support, right? We have pretty strong support, right? Not that we are going to take any trades, right? We can't take any trades, right? We can't buy, can't do anything. Hey, Charity, right? But we can start getting ready. We can start getting ready.
I deposited $5,000 and they still have it on hold.
Okay, look here. Now, if it breaks support, gets to that redistribution phase, finally breaks through to that redistribution phase, it's fine. We haven't lost anything. We're not in the trade. All right, we're not in the trade, but we need to know what's happening here. It's building support. It's building that foundation, right? And then what could happen? What could happen next? What could happen next? If it doesn't go through that redistribution phase, what could happen next? What could happen next?
It could either maintain or break resistance if it doesn't break support.
Yeah. Okay. So if it doesn't break support, so here we are. Here it is right here, right? In that markdown phase, and it's holding support. We don't have redistribution yet. All right. It could break resistance, right? It could break resistance. And then this is now considered what? What's this area called?
Consolidation.
Consolidation. What's the correct term that we use though?
The bull cage.
The bull cage, yeah. What else? Look at your charts. Your 4 market phases chart. Hey Zaire, welcome.
Accumulation?
Accumulation. All right. So it's in that markdown phase right now. Yes, absolutely. So Alan, yes. So price needs to break resistance. All right. go higher, or break support. Now, the reason I want to talk about this stuff is because, and we really need to get, I think we'll need to go over this some more. All right, because you guys need to really understand and get this. All right, so Bitcoin is right here, right now. It's holding right here, right now. Okay, if it gets down, this is it's got really good support at that 10,000 mark. Okay, so at the bare bottom, right, is 10,000. Right now it's sitting at 20,000. Okay, so at 20,000 is where it's sitting at right now. This is at about 10,000. If it gets through and it's holding that support really good right here in that markdown phase. All right. You guys should be able to look at charts and analyze the price just like this. Okay. Now, there is a lot of pressure for Bitcoin to go lower. Now, there's not a guarantee that it's going to go lower, but we have to understand where it is in that cycle. Bitcoin is about right in here, in the middle of that cycle. All right. Now, they're holding, the buyers are holding support. They're pretty strong. They're holding it at 20K. All right. They're holding it at 20K. This is how we need to analyze, right? It's in the markdown phase. There's a lot of pressure for Bitcoin, right, to break through here and go to 10,000 because it needs to get back to that support. This is where 10K is where it's got real support, a lot of good support, strong support here. We don't have a lot of strong support here at 20K. So there's a lot of pressure. All right. So if you guys see a big candle come in, right? A really big candle come in, right? A red candle, guess what? Then you know, okay, we're probably gonna go down to 10,000, right? And it's breaking redistribution. So I want you guys to look at this chart right here, right? Look at the 4 market phases right here, right? Right here. See that right here? See that right here? See how a price tends to come back to where it started? You'll see that a lot. Now look here. Let's go back to Bitcoin. Look here. Look here. Let's open it up. Get the full chart here. All right, look here. So here's the 10,000 support. We have really good support down in here. A lot of good support down in here. Here is your 4 market phases right here. Here's your 10,000K support. So horrible K. Here it is at 20K right here. You guys see that?
Yeah, it's almost a 1 year mark.
Yep. Yep. Very similar, right? It looks very similar to that 4 market phases chart, right? Look at that. And I will take a picture of this. All right, so look at that. All right, look at that now. Started here, made this whole cycle. All right, and look at the distance here. Look at the distance between here. Now look at the 4 market phases. All right, here is your 10K right here. That's your support right here, 10K. And guess what? Bitcoin is right here. Here is your support right here, right? So if we were looking to buy, get aggressive on Bitcoin, perhaps 10K, right? Perhaps 10K might be, or 8K or 5K, but there's a lot of pressure. And you guys can see there's a lot of pressure pushing, right? Pushing Bitcoin lower. A lot would have to happen for Bitcoin to not go lower here. Now it can happen. Anything can happen, right? Any questions on this? Any questions on this? We're going to start incorporating the 4 market phases, especially when we do this class here.
David, do you mind just summarizing? So if it is not redistribution down here, what do we call that?
Down here?
Yeah, towards the end, the tail end.
Okay, so this is marked down.
Yes.
So this whole area is marked down. All right. So this area here is just, Collis mentioned it, right? It's just consolidating. It's consolidating. It's not redistribution, right? Until the price breaks through that support. All right. That's your question, Mary?
Yes. Yes, that was my question.
Yeah. So right now, Bitcoin is holding support right here. So we don't have redistribution yet. It has to break through that support, right? And when it breaks through that support, the reason why it's called redistribution or reaccumulation is we're breaking through, right? We're breaking through that resistance here. We're breaking through that support down here. So new buyers are entering here to push the price higher, right? Here, new sellers are coming in to push the price lower. All right, so we don't have that yet. And there's a battle right now between the buyers and the sellers with Bitcoin. All right, but there's a lot of pressure. There's a lot of pressure. There's more sellers than buyers right now. All right, and the same thing goes for the equity markets. All right, the stock market. There are more sellers. When we get into that markdown phase, there are more sellers than buyers. In that markup phase, we've got more buyers than sellers. More buyers, more buyers, more buyers than sellers. Understand that most of the instrument that you guys trade, most of the things that you guys trade, they're going to go up. And at some point, they're going to come all the way back down. to where they started. Pretty scary. Let me do that again. Most of the instruments, not 100% of the time, but a lot of the time, you guys will see that. You know, we trade Forex and they'll do this, right? They'll do this. All right, they'll do this. Our job is to catch them here, right? In that markup phase, and then get out. And then wait again.
Got my laptop.
All right. And then wait again. All right. I wanted to talk about this. I really did.
Is it safe to say if we're successful in getting the meat of the trade throughout the year, we'll be more profitable than say long-term investors who just keep it in, riding it?
I would think so. I would think so.
Yeah, looking at the four phases, and I know it's not guaranteed, but in general, that's the trend. And so, yeah, I would say I hope they process my my funds.
So let's take a look at we'll take a look at Bitcoin here, right? So let's take a look. Okay, on just this chart right here. Okay, so I'm going to remove the short signal. I want to do let's see, hold on. Okay, so look here for a second. This is the same chart, same thing, but on the daily time frame. Okay, so look here. Because we would not have traded on the weekly, right? We watch it, monitor it on the weekly, but we would have traded it on the daily. When we get a buy signal on the daily, we'll get back in Bitcoin. All right. But we look for the big rotations, the big moves on the weekly. All right. So here we are here. This is Bitcoin here on a daily time frame. Okay, on a daily time frame. Let me get more data. Let's do 20 years. Okay, so here is so here we are. All right. Follow me for a second. So Arthur, we're your question, right? If we buy in the get in, right, the meat of the trade in that markup phase, would we do better than buying and holding, right? Than someone who bought and hold. All right. So let's do this here. All right. So here is Bitcoin here at the 10,000 support. 10,000 support is right there. So we know that 10,000 support is right here. All right. And we're going to use the system. We trade Bitcoin on the daily time frame. All right. So let's go through. Right. So we know on the weekly time frame, it's done this. Right. And on this chart also, it's done the same thing. All right. So buy and hold. Here is our buy and hold. All right. We would have bought here 10,000. Right. Right. We would have went all the way up to about 70,000, 69,000. I think it's the high. Right. So 69,000, and then we would have come all the way back at, we're now at 20,000. So we would have bought at 10,000. We're not going to talk about below anything below that. We're just going to base it on where we are right now. So 10,000, 10,000, we went all the way. This is your buy and hold. Okay, so your buy and hold. All right. And then this is your 4 market phases, right? Within here, this is where you would trade your 4 market phases, right? And Arthur said, get in the meat of the trade. All right, to the market for the 4 market phases. So the first trade we would have taken, this is the markup phase. So we would have taken this trade here, right? Here is our buy signal here, starting the markup phase. Let me switch colors here. All right, we'll use purple. So here is our buy signal here. All right, we would have held it, bought it at 10,000. We would have held it all the way up at about, that's about 50, let's say 52,000. All right, so we would
Wow.
have bought it at 10,000, right? This is at 52K. All right. So we would have made that difference there, right? What's that difference? That's 40K. All right. Then we would have bought it here. We would have gotten out, right? So we would have made a nice profit here from here to here, gotten out. This is the markdown phase. We would have gotten out, waited. We would have bought here, all right, at about, that's about 40, I'd say 41,000. And then we would have gotten out here, small profit for about 42,000. All right. And then we would have waited. We would have bought here again on the break of this resistance right here at about, let's say 54,000. 54,000. And then we would have gotten out here at about 50, that looks about 57,000. We would have had a loss here. All right. So at 40, that's about 45,000 and gotten out at about 40,000. So we would have a loss here. All right. And then we would have another loss. We would have stayed out of it. That's all to that markdown phase, redistribution phase. You see that big candle right here breaking through, right? Look at that big candle here. That's that breaking through that redistribution. See that here? That's that big gap right here breaking through breaking through that support. That's redistribution. That's what it looks like. All right. And they would have a small loss here at 25, right? So we gotten in at 25, got us out at about 20,000. So we would have a loss here. We'd have had a loss. We would have a loss here. But we've had a profitable trade here, profitable trade here, and then a profitable trade here.
That's an overall profit of like 40,000 with the profit losses.
Well, now your buy and hold, you would have bought at 10, right? You would have bought at 10, and right now it's at 20, right? So you would have bought it at 10, and now it's at 20, so you would be at up 10. So which is a better, so Arthur, you'd mentioned, right? Buy and hold, buying and holding compare to trading through the 4 market phases. So which is a more profitable scenario with this? Given this scenario here, which is a more profitable scenario?
The market phases for sure. The 4 market phases.
And why? And
Because,
anyone, not just Arthur, everyone else. Why? Which is better?
The 4 market phases.
Why? Why is it better?
Get the meat of the trade. Otherwise, if you just held it, you could get a mix of highs and lows and ultimately not really know if you're going to make money or not.
Yeah, very good. Imagine doing this, right? Imagine doing this. Imagine being that person, right? And this is why we do this type of trading, right? This is why we don't just buy and hold. Imagine, right? Getting here at 10,000, holding this, right? Otto said a whole year, right? Holding this a whole year, seeing it go all the way up, right? Seeing it go all the way up to 70,000, almost 70,000, and then come all the way back down to 20,000. Right? Imagine that, right? Imagine that.
Well, like a
Rather
lot of
than,
people thought that it was going to go up to like 120,000 when it was at 60,000. So a lot of people kept buying or
Mm.
holding, and then it just went down. And then of course they expect it to go back up because that's the trend that it had, but it didn't. It kept going down, and they continue to think it's going to go back up, but it just went down and down and down and down.
Mhm.
And if you keep holding, you're just going to lose more and more of your profits.
Yeah, it could go from 10,000 to 5,000 to 3,000 to 0, right? Hey, Zaire, you have a question or a statement?
No, David. When you get a chance, can you look at the S&P if you get a buy signal? I'm on my phone, so I'm just asking when you're done.
Oh, okay, okay. The S&P, okay. All right, you see this, guys? See this here? And this is real. This is real. This is real time right now, right here, right here. All right, so look at here. Look at here. All right, look at this. Perfect trading. 4 market phases. Mark up. Right? Enter here. So we'll use the system. Get out. Right? All of that stress. Mark down. We would be out. Right? Mark up. Right? Reaccumulation. Mark down. Right? We stay away from that. All right? Tested it here. Broke support, we got out, took a small loss. We didn't have a major loss. We didn't take this big loss here. Hey, we tested it again, right? Took a small loss, got out. And guess what? We're waiting. Much better than doing this. This is crazy here. All right. Those are, yeah. Yeah, Alan. Yeah. Take profits. Yeah, and accept, yeah. Yeah, good losses or small losses or quick losses, right? Okay, so Zaire, S&P, and then we'll be done. S&P. I hope this was helpful.
Yeah, this is a perfect example.
Yeah, we'll do more of these on our Wednesday class.
David, when you're about to make a trade,
Mm-hmm.
what time frames do you look at? Do you look at all of them? I'm pretty sure you do. But like right before you make that decision, what's your like final time frame you would want to look at? Or
Well, I'll talk about that. Let me open up Zaire's S&P. But we'll finish. We'll go over time frames. We'll finish with time frames.
We don't have to do two. We can save for tomorrow if anything. I
No,
know
that's
it's,
fine.
out
That's
of
fine.
time.
That's fine. The S&P. Let's see, Zaire. I thought I had it here. Zaire, what time frame?
Oh, the 240.
The 240. Okay.
Is that 240 days or 24 hours? 1 day. 240. Anyone know?
Yeah, I'll go over that in a minute. Let me get this here. I'll go over time frames in a minute for you.
I was just testing your class.
All right, so the S&P and the 240. So yeah, we're getting close.
Okay, thank you, David.
Yeah, hold on 1 second. Let me bring it up for you. Okay, so the short closed, so the short signal closed. All right. So that's good. Let me bring in the buys. We don't have a buy signal yet, I'm sure, but it is setting up. We will, if we do get a buy signal. So let's remove the shorts. If we do get Zaya, I'm glad you mentioned it, the 240. If we get buy signals on the 240, just like we did before the last run we had in equities, we started with the 240. All right, so and then we moved to the daily. So here we are, Zaire. And guys, look at your chart here. Look at the chart here on the S&P. Every chart you guys look at and every time frame, start looking for those phases. All right, start looking for those phases. Right? They go in start looking for these patterns, right? They go in cycles. All right. So here is support down here. Here is that markdown phase, right? Here is the markdown phase, right? So Zaire, here is, you got green candles coming in. So we got buyers coming in. All right. We've got resistance. We got resistance right here was previous resistance. Let me see if we have a little bit of resistance right here, but we'll probably get up if it goes higher, right? S&P goes higher, we could get a buy signal. I would say probably right about here, almost similar, identical to where we had the previous buy signal. Okay, you might get it in here. You guys see that? You see what's setting up here? All right, so here was the previous buy signal right here, right? Markup phase, And here we are right now, right? Green candles are coming in, so buyers are coming in, right? So anywhere in here, Zaire, anywhere in this area in here, we could get a buy signal, all right? It's a bit early, right? It's early, right? But a few more, if we can get more buying to come in, I would say near 3,900 on the S&P, we can get a buy signal. Okay. So it's getting close, right? Right. We just need some buying to come in. And if that happens, we'll call it, right? And so those of you who trade Stock Boss, right? Charity, right? Mary, right?
I'm feeling it.
You're feeling it?
Yeah, it's coming in.
Yeah,
Feel
it's still early. It's still early, right? It's still early. All right.
Oh,
Go ahead, Zach.
yeah. No, I'm just seeing it like I think it's coming in. It's coming in. That's what I'm. Yeah, it looks that way to me.
Get ready. Can you set like an alert if it reaches that mark and then it tells you?
What's that? I didn't get that.
Oh,
Martha?
I was just curious if you can set it so that once it reaches that target where it breaks resistance, it would alert you somehow like, hey, start investing. It's the time now.
Yeah, we have alerts. So these buy signals
nice.
will give us email alerts. Yeah, email alerts. So we always know what's happening. All right. So Zaire, thanks for mentioning that. All right. Thanks for mentioning the 240. We'll track it on the 240. We get a buy signal. We'll be all over it. We won't wait on the daily, right? We'll get in early. And we're starting to see some moves in Stock Boss and Bullmaster. So stocks are starting, but not enough yet, right? Not enough to those of you who have Stock Boss, Bullmaster, you can start putting a watch list together. All right. You can start putting a watch list together. All right. But we don't have any buy signals yet on any of the sectors. It's still early, but it's something to pay attention to. All right. Time frames. So there are different time frames. So let's go over that quickly. All right. There are different time frames. And the way we want to think about time frames, let's see here. Hold on. Okay, time frames. Right here, we have all these different time frames. So from a 1 minute, 2 minute, 3 minute, 4 minute, 5 minutes, and so forth. All right. This window here is a 240-minute time frame. Okay, so that's a 4-hour time frame. Every candle is 4 hours worth of data. All right, 4 hours worth of data. So that candle from open to close is 4 hours. All right, same here, same here, same here, same here. All right, now on a daily time frame, all right, every candle is a day's worth of data. So if we look at the equity markets, the stock market from 9:30 to 4 p.m., 9:30 a.m. to 4 p.m., from open to close, all right, from open to close, right? That's a day's worth of data. For Forex, right? It's 5 p.m. to the following day, 5 p.m. That's 24 hours. That's a day's worth of data in the candle. A weekly time frame is 1 week. All right, so a whole week. All right, so for equities, all right, for equities, it's stock market from Monday through Friday, whole week, from open to close. All right, for Forex, Sunday through Friday, that's a whole week. Monthly, that's easy, right? Monthly, a month worth of data. All right, a month worth of that. Those are your time frames. The way you mentioned, do we use different time frames? You can use different time frames, like Zaire just mentioned, right? He wants to get a closer view of the S&P, so he's looking at the 240-minute time frame. Think of the time frames as the smaller the time frame, the more we are zooming in, right? We're zooming in to get a closer picture. So this is a 1 hour time frame. So every candle is a 1 hour worth of data, price data. All right, a 30-minute time frame. All right, so we're getting in closer, right? 15-minute time frame, we're getting even closer. All right, a 1 minute, let's do a 5-minute time frame, we're getting in even closer. All right, keep in mind all the different time frames. It doesn't matter, right? So all the way from a 1 minute, 5 minute to a monthly, we'll all follow the 4 market phases. All right, if you're going to trade anything less than a 30-minute time frame, you're day trading. Anything less than a 30-minute time frame. All right, so a 5-minute time frame, a 1 minute time frame. You're scalping, you're trading, you're in front of your screen. All right, so you're day trading. All right, anything less than a 30-minute time frame, you're day trading. All right, once you get into an hour time frame, so a 60-minute time frame like here, you're now getting into swing trading. So anything less than 30 minutes, right? 15 minutes, 10 minutes, 5 minutes, 1 minute, your intraday, you're going to get in and out for that day. All right, Arthur, you're going to get in and out that day. All right, you day trading, you got to be in front of that. You can't, you glue to your screen. All right, you glue to your screen. All right, swing trading, we do more swing trading and position trading. So swing trading is you go up to about 60 minute swing trading. 60-minute time frame is a really good swing trade. You're going to stay in that trade. You're going to keep it overnight. All right, so you're not going to, it's not intraday. You're not getting in and getting out in that day. All right, you're going to keep it minimum at least a day. All right, might have, if you catch a trend, 2-3 days. All right, now
Got it.
okay, now there are certain time frames that traders use, right? There's 90 minutes, right, and all of that, but the time frames that traders use, right, that they really watch are 60 minutes, 60-minute time frame, the 4-hour time frame. All right, for day traders, they like the 5-minute time frames. Okay, all right, 240 is it's a swing trade. I call it an extended swing trade. Okay, and then your position trading, that's the daily time frame. That's more position trading. All right, so you're gonna hold that several weeks, several months, if it holds a trend. Your weekly and your monthly is just for research, right? You're not gonna find a lot of traders trading on the weekly time frame or the monthly time frame. It's really used to see the larger trend, right? And you can build your trade around that, right? So you zoom in with the weekly, the monthly, and even the daily. We zoom in out, right? Kind of like here, we're zooming out to see the big picture. All right. But the important thing about the time frames is, we select the time frame that's going to work with our schedule. All right. So a lot of traders, new traders, will come into the market and they'll decide that, hey, I just want to trade, and they'll get into a small time frame and look to day trade, but they've got a full-time job, right? And how are you going to trade on a 5-minute time frame and you've got a full-time job? Doesn't work, right? Can't work. All right, but a daily
Yeah.
time frame. So for folks that work, a daily time frame works really well because you just have to watch it when the candle closes at the end of the day, once a day. All right. On a 4-hour time frame, right? So this is the way we want to look at the time frames, right? Based on how much time we've got available to trade, right? On a 4-hour time frame, the candle closes once every 4 hours. So that gives us 4 hours, right? All right, 4 hours to before we have to make a decision, right? All right, so here's the forward chart. So every candle is 4 hours, right, from open to close. So it gives us a, because keep in mind, the system will not give a buy or sell signal until that candle closes. That candle has to close, all right, in order for us to get a buy or sell signal. That makes sense? So this is the way we want to look at the time frames, how we trade the time frames, based on how much time we have, right, to be in front of the screen.
Yeah, that makes sense.
That makes sense? All right.
For now, I'll probably do the 30-minute and 1 hour, probably.
And why is that?
With the job, I guess, and I have the phone in front of me, so I try to be active, but yeah.
Yeah. So we don't base, we don't base our trading on, everyone is different. Everyone is different, if you have time, the cool thing is to learn the 4 market phases, and then you can use any time frame. All right. So if you have some quiet time, right? You're on vacation, you've got some quiet time at home, right? A lot of our traders will do that. I'm sure Zaire does this sometime, right? You could bring it down to a 15-minute time frame, right? You've got some, you've got some downtime, right? Where you're not working and you can sit in front of it, right? You can put on a smaller time frame, right? You can look at let's say a 30-minute time frame. 30, that's not intraday, but let's say a 15-minute time frame. And once you get good at this, right, put a 15-minute time frame, right? You've got some time, right? You've got some time during the day, and you see something breaking out, right? It's gonna follow the same 4 market phases, right? And guess what? Let's see if I can find it. Put the time on here. So let's put the time. I want to see here, and then we'll be done, I promise. You guys are keeping me later and later every night. Oh. All right. Let's see here. Time. Time here. Okay, so here is okay, let's do a smaller, let's do a 5-minute time frame. Intraday. Okay, so here was a trade here on 10-4, right? On 10-4, right here, it gapped up, but we can use this as an example. 10-4, and right when the market opened at 9:35, so at 9:35, got a buy signal right here, all right? And then we got out at what? Right at around 1300 hours, so that's 1 o'clock. Right, so this would be a day trade here. That's a 5-minute time frame. 5-minute time frame is very popular for day traders. All right, very, very popular. You don't get a lot of noise. 1 minute is crazy. All right, but a 5-minute, right? And you can use, I'm not telling you guys to do this, but you guys ask about the time frames. All right, so let me show you guys something here. So you could use a daily time frame as your foundation. A lot of traders use that. I used to do that a lot. Use a daily time frame as your foundation, and then look for opportunities, right? So use the daily for direction. All right. And then the 5-minute. So here was your buy signal here at right at 9:30, right? When the market opened. That's the equity market. All right. And then at 1 p.m., here was your sell signal right here at 1 p.m. All right. So we bought here and sold here. That's an intraday trade. All right. That's an intraday trade. All right. And that's on the 5-minute time frame. All right. You're not going to hold it for 5 minutes time frame. You're not going to hold that on overnight. Very seldom. Sometimes it happens. All right. So bought here right when the market opened, and then sold it right here. All right. All right. Anything else? I'm done. Those of you, we're doing updates. We've been doing updates all week. So those of you who haven't been in contact with me, right? Zaire, I haven't heard from you. Charity, Chris, we've got you scheduled. Okay, so get with me, guys. Get with me. Okay. Check your systems. Make sure if you do not have your support and resistance lines. So if you do not have your support and resistance lines like this, and if your candles are not color coded like this, all right, get with me so we can schedule your update. All right. All right. All right. All right, guys, take care. Have a good evening. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Take care. Bye-bye.
Thanks, David. Bye.
Bye-bye.